We'll start with that. Brian, what's up?
Does it sound fake?
I could even go with 106.
Okay, 106? I think I would be miserable if it was 106 outside.
Yeah.
No.
I've had to practice in one time.
106 was
Suck.
good.
I'd definitely go for 106 today.
106 over 19?
Same.
Yeah.
I'm really cold right
You say that until it's like the middle of July.
No,
like,
I'd rather
I
do
hate
that
it in
Jack
106.
I'd rather do hot.
Hey, we're
than
gonna say
cold.
that we hate it, but we love it.
I'd rather do it.
When it's freezing, we want 106. When it's 106, we're like, man, it was better when it was cold and I could
I
breathe.
just like it inside.
No.
Nothing's better. No.
Springtime's the
Always
first one.
If I could just
Yeah,
go to a stand and sit
Alright, let's
there
start.
for about 2 minutes, then take a shot, and just
Shut up, Brian, so we can start this.
Be nice.
Now you started it.
Okay, here we go. Objective 106. We've been talking about inequalities. This one is a little bit different. What they're going to do is give you an ordered pair. And you're going to have to be asked, is that the solution or not? So we've got to talk a little bit about what that means. So think. Determine if an ordered pair is a solution. All right, recall that ordered pairs, they come in the parentheses, and what they are is locations to points on the coordinate grid. If an ordered pair is supposed to be a solution to one of our inequalities, that means one of two things. You know, we would graph a line and shade it. So if an ordered pair is a solution, that means it would fall in the shaded area. Now if we had a picture, that would be really easy to see, but on these we're not going to have a picture unless we wanted to draw our own. The other thing it could mean is if you had a solid line, Jeff, that means that the point could fall in the solid line. So in the shaded region or on the solid line. If you have a dotted line, though, you can't fall on the dotted line. So here's kind of what I mean. So we have a graph here. And say that I just drew some inequality.
start at negative 10.
What's wrong?
Blank piece. Alright, so my inequality was like this line, and say I shaded below it. Like that. So that's my inequality. Any points that fall over here would be solutions to the inequality. Any points that fall out here would not be. So would the point 1 comma 6, would that be a solution? Would 1 comma 6 fall in the shade or not?
No.
1, 6. Obviously not. What about 5, negative 2?
Sure.
5, negative 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, negative 2. You've got a whole lot of possible points that would be solutions. What about 1, negative 1?
Sure.
Yeah.
Think, now this is 1 negative 1 looks like it falls right on the line, but is it a solid line? Yeah. So a solution means that the point falls in the shaded region, which that's a big target to hit, or on solid lines, you could fall on the solid line. So 1, 6 was no good, 5, negative 2 was good, and 1, negative 1 was also good. So that's what it means to be a solution. However, on these problems, you don't have the picture like that. Your answer is going to say, hey, which one of these points, this one, this one, this one, this one, would be a solution to this inequality. An inequality that's not even solved, it's all jumbled up. So the first thing that we want to do, we're still working this first problem, is that we want to solve this to be y equals mx plus b, or y is less than or greater than mx plus b. So let's do that. Here's our problem, right here. I'll ask you, we have something on both sides. It's not y, what is it?
X.
It's x. So let's get the x's together. Which one are we going to move?
Negative 6.
Yeah, how do you move it?
Add
Add 6 to
6x to both sides.
So that's gone. You got 3y
It's less than 13x minus 30.
minus 30. Now here's a thought. Is this y positive or negative?
Positive.
You need to think that because it's about the sign flipping. So am I going to flip or not?
No.
No, I'm not going to flip. So it is going to be less than. I'll divide everything by 3. I won't flip. And I will have y
13 over 3x negative 10.
13 over 3x minus 10.
Good job.
13 over 3x minus 10. Now if I sketch that, I don't even know if I could sketch that on here because I don't know how low this goes. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So if it was 10, that would be like negative 10 for this graph. Up 13/3. Hey, would this get solid or dotted line?
Got it.
That's cute.
Yeah, not the best, but it's there. And then what I said above or below that?
Below.
So my line looks like this. Right there.
C.
Not the best picture. It's kind of hard to tell here. 3/8 is the first answer. Would 3/8 fall in there? Right, 3 up 8, probably not. What about 2/4? 2/4?
No.
No. -3, -23. I don't have any clue. -3, -23 is way down here. It's very, very possible. And the other one is 3/2.
If you're not sure, you can always like put it in.
Yeah,
We
and
can guess.
that's what we're gonna have to do. Hard to tell about 3/2. 3/2 is a maybe. The other one's a maybe. It's definitely one of those two. But here's what we're gonna have to do: is plug them in. And we'll start with C and D because those are the ones obviously we know are possible. So if I'm gonna plug this in, I'm gonna test C. I want to see if C is the right answer. I gotta call this X and Y. This one's X, and this one's Y. And I'm going to put them in. All right, so what's my X? On-
-3.
-3. And what's my Y?
-23.
-23. So I'm going to test this. I'm going to use my calculator. I'm going to say 13/3 times -3 minus 10. Put that in, see what you get. 13/3 times -3 minus 10. -23. Okay, so you end up, when you put this in, you end up with -23 is less than -23. Is that good or is that going to work or not?
No.
No, it would work if you had the equal to. So it's got to probably be D. So here's what we're going to do is cross this out. What's my X on D?
3.
And my Y is
2.
2. So I'm going to put this in again. Here's my D. 3. Now since I've already put this in on my calculator, I will not be spending time retyping. I'll just come up here. I'll come over here and edit. There we go. Okay, that says 3. So you end up with, is 2 less than 3? No. So then that works. So that's why D would be the answer. So get it to Y equals mx plus b, or Y is less than mx plus b, or Y is greater than mx plus b. Put in your numbers and see if it works. All right, let's look on the back side. We got 3 that we want to do. All right, here's your inequality. It's all jumbled up. What's the first thing that we want to do in solving this?
Get X. 8.
Get it to
Y equals mx plus b.
yeah, Y equals mx plus b. So here you're saying move the 8x is what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
First thing is going to be move the 8x. Our goal is to get Y equals mx plus b. Minus 8x, minus 8x. And you got 7y is less than 5x minus 21. Looks like I won't be sign flipping, but I'm going to divide all three things by what? 7. Y is greater than 5/7 x minus 3. Put arrows under the y and the x. And let's test our first answer. 7, 2. 2 goes here, 7 goes here. This is the y, and this is the x. So calculate 5/7 times 7 minus 3. 5/7 times 7 minus 3. I'm punching these in the calculator just a little bit. It's 2. And then you ask yourself, is 2 greater than 2? Yeah. So then it's not A. We got to move to the next one. Moving to my next one, what's my X? 0, and what's my Y? Negative 8. This one you don't necessarily need a calculator for. 5 7 times 0 is 0. So you end up with just negative 3 and negative 8. Is negative 8
No.
greater than negative 3?
No.
Let's move to the next one. 7 and 7. Now, if you remember, we already knew what we got when we put a 7 in here. Still have it on my calculator, actually. When you put a 7 in, you get
2.
2. So is 7 greater than 2?
Yes.
So then we'll go with that one. So that'll be it. You don't have to check the last one. All right, next one up. Here it is. First, we want to get it to y something mx plus b. Jeff, what's the first thing I'm going to do?
Add 4.
Add 4x. Sure enough, add 4x. I get negative 3y. Make sure you don't make the mistake of turning that into positive 3y. It is negative 3y. It stays negative 3y. Greater than or equal to. What happens here?
Side flips.
Yeah, the sign will flip. Sign will flip. What happens with these two?
4x plus 9.
Yeah, 4x plus 9. They don't go together. We just got 4x plus 9. And what Keaton said is we will sign flip because of this. Negative 3, negative 3, negative 3. Y is now less than or equal to negative 4/3 x minus 3. Arrows, arrows. And we're going to check. Here's the A is right here. So what's my x?
3.
And my y is
2.
2. So when I check, I'm going to go negative 4/3 times negative 3 minus 3. So negative 4/3 times negative 3, subtract 3. That gives me 1. So I asked myself, is 2 less than or equal to 1? No, unfortunately not. So next thing up is the 8, negative 6. This is the x, this is the y. So 8, negative 6. I'm not going to be retyping the whole thing. I'm just going to come up here, edit, change this to positive 8. I've got negative 41/3. If you're confused as to what negative 41/3 is, hit toggle. It's definitely negative 13.6. Is negative 6 less than or equal to negative 13.6?
Less.
So negative 6 less than or equal to negative 13.6. Less than means, on a number line, less than means left of. So is negative 6 left of? So it's not that one either.
Wait to read your book stuff.
All right, next one up. What do we got? What's my x? And my y? 1. All right, so again, I'm not typing it. I already typed it. I'm just going to come back up. I'll go all the way up. Actually, we've already put in a negative 3 once, so if we remember, that's what that gives us 1. So is 1 less than or equal to negative 1? Or no, is 1 less than or equal to 1? We put a negative 3 in, you get a 1. So 1 is less than or equal to 1, right?
Yeah.
So that one does work. There's one where it's all right to have the same number because you have the equal to with it. And the last one. Why is this one different? Yeah, because we have y's on both sides, right? So let's get them together. Which way do we want the y's to come?
Right.
Well, from the right.
Left.
To the left.
We want them to end up over here. So that's the one we want to move, right? So minus 3y, and you get 18 plus 6y is greater than 5x. What are you going to move next?
18.
18. Don't put it with the x, just put it next to the x. 6y is greater than 5x minus 18. Divide all three things by what?
6.
Sign flip?
No.
No. All right, so y is greater than 5, 6x minus 3. I'm in much room, so I'm just going to come out this way and this way. All right, my first answer is 2, -5. Which one of those is the x?
2.
2, and -5 is the y. So put 5, 6 times 2 minus 3. 5, 6 times